Welcome back. If you're hearing these words right now, maybe your soul already knows something is about to change, not out there in the world, but deep within the rhythm of your own heartbeat. For a long time, everything has felt silent, still. But that silence, it isn't an ending. It's the pause the universe takes a deep inhale before it whispers your name. Tonight, we step into the space between fate and light, where brave souls like yours begin to awaken, and where truth returns clear, gentle, yet powerful. Take a deep breath, let your shoulders soften, and open your heart. Because what's coming next isn't just another story. It's a sacred warning, a message the universe wrote especially for you. Aries. There are moments when the whole world seems to hold its breath with you, when every sound fades away, when even your heart slows down. As if to listen for something shifting between two heartbeats, between two streams of light, between two realities. And today, within that silence, a door quietly opens. Soft as a whisper, light as a memory, yet powerful enough to change the course of your soul. It's no longer about waiting or feeling lost in the dark. The silence of these past days has been a sacred test to help you hear the voice within. A voice that doesn't come from fear or from what others think of you, but from the deepest place where your soul has been sitting in patience, waiting for the day it could finally live in its true light. Maybe you've felt it for a while now, that heaviness in your chest with no clear reason. The nights you woke up not because of noise, but because your heart was trying to speak. The unease, the restlessness, the repeating dreams, they're all messages. The universe doesn't speak in words, it speaks in sensations, in vibration. And today, you're vibrating in rhythm with the cosmos itself. People often think silence is emptiness, but for souls who've survived many storms like yours, silence is sacred. It's the moment when all the noise of the world stops, so that light can find its way back to you. That's when the universe places a hand on your shoulder and whispers, "You're ready now. Ready to stop chasing what's outside of you. Ready to trust the rhythm of your own heart. Ready to see that everything you've been searching for, love, purpose, abundance, was already within you. You just hadn't dared to look." When silence ends, a new chapter begins. Not because someone told you where to go, but because your soul remembered the way home. Today, every breath you take is a declaration. I am alive, I am awake, and I have heard the call. You may not know where it's leading yet, but that no longer matters. Because when the universe flows through you, every step you take carries meaning. Even fear begins to dissolve, like mist in the morning sun. You'll notice that the things that once worried you now feel small, and the wounds that once hurt you have become your greatest strength. Every crack is simply a place where the light can enter, and that light is you. Let today be the day you stop doubting yourself. Stop asking, when will it happen? Because the truth is, it's already begun. Not loud, not dramatic, but deep, steady, like an underground river quietly changing its course. If everything around you feels still, trust that the universe is moving. If time feels slower, know that a new frequency is forming. And as the light inside your chest grows stronger, you'll see till you're no longer the one who waits. You are the one being chosen to move, to shine, to spark something sacred in others. You may not fully see it yet, but right now, in this very moment, something miraculous is happening within your energy. The old clouds are dissolving, and a new sky is opening above you. Take one deep breath, and in that space, between silence and sound, between the old and the new, the universe begins to answer, not with thunder, not with blinding light, but with something small, gentle, a feeling that you're about to understand something even if you can't name it yet. Aries. Sometimes, life doesn't send us answers in words. It speaks in signs, small, delicate, so gentle that if you don't slow down, you might miss them. A message that arrives just as you're about to give up. An old song playing in a cafe, bringing back a feeling you thought you'd forgotten. A door once closed, quietly opening again, not with noise, but with the soft breath of destiny. These things aren't coincidences. They are replies, the universe's way of saying, I hear you. Because when the energy inside you begins to change, reality around you starts to move with it. The outer world is only a mirror, reflecting the frequency you send out. If you've ever believed you were walking this path alone, let these little signs remind you you've never truly been alone. Every bit of light you give, no matter how small, is seen, is felt, is recorded by the universe. Every kind thought, every genuine act leaves a trace in the current flowing all around you. Some call it destiny, some call it a miracle, but really, it's the meeting point of faith and timing. When you start to believe, when your heart opens, everything begins to find its way back to you. A new person walks into your life the moment you finally learn how to love yourself. An opportunity appears when you stop forcing it. A door opens when you dare to rise again after failure. You see, the universe never promised the road would be easy, but it promised to send signs like a lighthouse in the fog. Not to show you the final destination, but to whisper, you're still on the right path. If today you keep seeing repeating numbers, or hear a sentence that makes your heart skip a beat, or sense someone thinking of you, trust it. It's not your imagination. It's your frequency reaching someone else, and theirs echoing back. A silent dance only awakened souls can feel. As adults, we sometimes forget we don't live by logic alone. We live by feeling. That small peace in the middle of chaos, that subtle knowing that something is shifting, that is the voice of your soul. And when you learn to trust that voice, every coincidence starts to make sense. You stop asking, why? And start smiling, saying, I see. You might not understand right away why that person came back today, or why an opportunity arrived after you stopped expecting it. But deep down, you know it's divine timing, the right person, the right moment, the right lesson. Everyone who enters your life, even if only for a moment, carries a fragment of light, something you needed to see to grow a little more. So if you're hearing this right now, ask yourself, what message is the universe trying to send me lately? A recurring feeling, a familiar image, a vivid dream. These are the languages of the soul. Not meant to scare you, but to remind you that you are always being guided. Let every sign be a gentle reminder you are living in a sacred conversation. The universe speaks through the wind, through light, through the eyes of the people you meet. And when you truly listen, you'll realize everything is speaking to you. If something today warms your heart, share that story. Because sometimes your small moment of light is exactly what helps someone else find hope again. We are all connected through these simple things, a story, a belief, a moment of empathy. And when you look back and smile at the signs arriving in your life, you'll understand reality is no longer something happening to you. It's something happening for you. Gently, quietly, as precise and miraculous as moonlight itself. A soft breeze passes, the light shifts its hue, and, in that calm, almost imperceptible instant, another layer of energy begins to awaken. Sometimes, light doesn't arrive with celebration. It comes through the sound of something breaking. These days, you may feel caught between two worlds, one side fading into dust, the other not yet formed enough to name. Old fears rise, forgotten memories return, and emotions blur into each other until you find yourself wondering, am I still on the right path? Let your heart hear this. You're not falling back, you're transforming. The strongest souls always walk through the in-between, that sacred space between endings and beginnings. There are no signs there, no bright lights, only a fragile faith that everything is being rearranged according to the order of light. Don't resent the heavy feelings resurfacing now. They're not here to punish you, they're here to leave. Part of you is still holding on to what no longer belongs, words left unsaid, forgiveness not yet given, people you tried to keep just because the emptiness scared you. The universe is bringing them back one last time, not to make you suffer again, but to let you release them peacefully, completely. You'll notice, old energy resists before it disappears. Like a dying flame flaring up once more before it goes out. Someone from the past might text you, an old fear may whisper again, a missed chance may reappear, tempting you to return. But don't mistake that as a sign to go back. They are simply echoes of a world taking its final breath. As your vibration rises, everything misaligned will quietly drift away, not in conflict, but in dissolution. Just like morning mist fading under sunlight. Darkness isn't chased away, it just no longer has space to exist. Allow yourself to feel everything that comes. If you need to cry, cry. If you feel tired, pause and breathe deeply. Not because you're weak, but because your body needs to recognize. The cleansing has begun. You see, this world teaches us how to fight, how to climb, how to move faster, but it forgets to teach us how to let go. No one tells you that maturity sometimes means having the courage to let a door close. To say thank you and goodbye. Because if your hands are still full of the old, how can you receive what's new? Today, look gently at what still frightens you. Ask yourself, why am I so afraid to lose it? And maybe you'll realize the fear isn't about losing, it's about not trusting that you can live well without it. The moment you see that truth, you've already conquered a piece of your own darkness. The clash between old and new energies always brings chaos. But chaos isn't a mistake. It's the signature of transformation. Just as the earth trembles before a seed breaks open, just as the ocean roars before it calms, everything now is preparing for a higher order. So when familiar faces return, look at them with gratitude. When old patterns resurface, see them as the final test of your faith. You no longer need to prove your strength. You only need to choose peace. Peace doesn't mean the absence of storms. It means that the storms can no longer take you away from yourself. The old world is fading, Aries. Its final echoes may still bring tears, but don't be afraid. These tears no longer taste of pain. They carry the sweetness of release. Take a deep breath. Notice how the air feels different now, lighter, clearer, brighter, and far ahead, at the edge where the old and new dissolve into one another, a soft light begins to spread. Gentle, yet powerful enough that you can't look away. Not everyone sees this moment, but awakened souls always feel it, that quiet instant when reality begins to shift. And you, Aries, you are standing in that very moment. As the light crosses the threshold, every old layer within you turns to dust in the wind, leaving only what is pure, the part of you that was always meant to be reborn. Not every prophecy is written in the stars. Some are carved deep into the human heart, etched through wounds, through seasons of loneliness, and through the moments you thought you'd lost yourself. And today, you begin to understand you are the prophecy the universe has been writing all along. No one can tell you the meaning of your path, because it didn't exist until you walked it. Every choice you've made, right or wrong, is a brushstroke destiny used to paint the shape of your soul. Those moments you thought were failures were really the times the universe was polishing the rough diamond within you, so your light could reflect more clearly. Think back to every hurt you've endured, the people who wounded you, the dreams left unfinished, the promises forgotten. They didn't come to break you. They came to train your courage, something no star can give you, only experience can. A person who has fallen and still chooses to rise, who has lost faith but still chooses love, who has been betrayed and yet still believes in goodness. That's the kind of soul the universe trusts to carry its light. You've walked through storms, and in those long nights, you learned how to see light without needing it to be bright. You discovered that true strength doesn't come from control, but from peace. The kind of peace that comes when you trust that what's meant for you will never lose its way. The world teaches us to prove ourselves, to achieve, to compete. But the universe teaches something different, that simply returning to yourself is the greatest homecoming of all. When you stop asking, "When will the miracle come?" and softly whisper, "I am the miracle," that's when every door begins to open. Not because you begged for it, but because your energy became the invitation. You may not see the change right away, but the universe doesn't work by time. It works by resonance. Every time you choose kindness over anger, forgiveness over revenge, love over fear, you're writing the next line of your own prophecy in light. You see, the world doesn't need more perfect people. It needs people who have known pain and still choose compassion. People who carry scars and still say, "I still believe in love." And you, Aries, are one of them. You're no longer being tested. The universe isn't questioning your strength anymore. It's trusting you to share the light you've earned through tears, through solitude, through years of quiet healing. So don't see yourself as someone waiting to be saved. You are the one chosen to save yourself, and through that, to awaken others still lost in their own darkness. No one who dares to tell their story is ever truly alone. Share what you've overcome, because maybe your story, small as it seems, is the lamp that helps someone else find their way home. And in that moment when you realize you are the prophecy, every limitation begins to dissolve. You stop searching the sky for signs, because you've become the sky itself, vast, still, forgiving, filled with stars waiting to awaken. Your breath slows. The light within you grows just a little brighter. And somewhere deep inside, you hear it a whisper, soft and steady, like the sound of water moving over stone in the quiet of the night. Abundance doesn't always arrive with applause or numbers on a screen. Sometimes, it returns softly like a cool morning breeze, like a heartbeat that suddenly feels calm, like the quiet knowing that you'll be all right, even if you can't yet see the road ahead. When your energy is cleansed, the world begins to respond subtly, gracefully. Work that once stood still starts to move. The person you've been hoping to meet suddenly reaches out. Ideas that had gone quiet begin to glow again with new light. Not because you're pushing harder, but because you've stopped resisting the natural flow. True, wealth isn't just money. It's the feeling of being supported, connected, and trusted. There was a time you believed you had to fight for everything to prove your worth in order to receive. But now, you understand giving and receiving are not separate acts. They are two breaths of the same rhythm. When you live in alignment with your truth, that rhythm naturally balances itself. No control needed, no forcing required. Abundance begins as a ripple from within. You start waking earlier, you feel more grateful, your eyes soften when you look at life. The smallest things, a complete meal, a sincere thank you, a deep night's sleep, become the first signs of real peace. And when peace fills your heart, money, opportunity, and joy find their way back to you because they are always drawn toward light. Maybe you don't see it yet, but every time you choose faith over fear, you open another door for miracles to enter. The universe always listens to the souls brave enough to say, "I believe I am worthy of good things." And you are worthy not because you're perfect, but because you're honest with yourself. True peace isn't a life without problems. It's the stillness you keep even when the storm rages outside. When your mind is calm, your wisdom clears, your actions align, and results rise naturally to match your higher frequency. That's the hidden law of the material world. Peace creates productivity. Faith creates flow. If you once saw money as a race, see it now as a river. The tighter you hold, the murkier it becomes. The more you trust, the clearer it flows. Let it move. Let it pass and return, because that's the true nature of prosperity, a sacred circulation, not possession. And when you learn to give thanks even for hard days, the real miracle begins. Because adversity teaches humility and compassion. The abundance you're attracting now is not just for spending, it's for sharing. You've become someone the universe can trust to let the current pass through you, not stop with you. If today something opens a job, a financial blessing, a new connection, receive it with a soft smile and a quiet whisper. I'm ready to receive and ready to give. That's how abundance stays alive through the circulation of gratitude. In every moment, let peace be your true currency. When your heart is calm, everything you touch becomes enough. And in that stillness, you'll hear something small, the whisper of the earth, the steady pulse of life returning. That's the sound of the comeback, the return of faith, of flow, of the miracles that were waiting for you to believe again. And as your breath falls in sync with the breath of the universe, a higher energy begins to unfold where abundance is no longer just material, but clarity in your heart and love present in every breath you take. Love, when it comes from the soul, is never loud. It doesn't need promises or dramatic declarations. It only needs truth. And today, under this soft, sacred light, that truth begins to reveal itself. It might come as a message you didn't expect, a quiet look filled with words unspoken, or perhaps a moment alone when you suddenly realize the love you've been holding on to no longer matches the frequency of your soul. The universe never takes anyone from you. It simply rearranges things so you can return to where you truly belong. For some, this is the day of release, the moment you understand that love isn't about holding on, but about allowing both hearts to be free. You once believed that love meant walking together until the very end. But sometimes, love means knowing when to stop, so neither of you must keep hurting. Letting go doesn't mean losing. It means creating space so what truly belongs to you can find its way in. And for those destined to meet again, you may feel something unusual today, a strange, gentle familiarity, as if your soul recognizes someone from another lifetime. Their eyes calm you instead of making you nervous. Their voice steadies you instead of sweeping you away. That's the mark of conscious love, love that knows who you are and where your soul is heading. A true soulmate doesn't arrive to make you forget yourself. They come to help you remember who you've always been. Real love, Aries, doesn't ask you to shrink. It doesn't silence you, doesn't ask you to become smaller to fit. It's the space where you can breathe, grow, cry, and even fail and still be met with gentleness. It's the sacred place where two people walk toward light together, instead of pulling each other deeper into fear. After enough heartbreaks, you learn the difference between someone who makes you feel loved and someone who keeps making you prove that you're worthy of love. One gives peace. The other takes it away. One helps you breathe deeper. The other steals your breath. And one day, you stop choosing by emotion and start choosing by energy. You begin to sense who opens your heart and who quietly closes it. If someone from your past returns today, see them through the eyes of your soul. Are they coming back to love you, or to see if you're still standing where they left you? If it's the latter, smile and say, "Thank you," because the moment you can see that truth, you've completed a karmic cycle. And when karma closes, real love begins. If you're in a relationship right now, let this be the day of honesty, not to blame, but to reconnect through truth. Sometimes, what saves a relationship isn't a grand gesture, but a quiet confession. I'm still here. I just need to be heard. This world needs more people who love with understanding. Who love not to own, but to uplift. Who love not to change others, but to grow together. And if your heart stirs as you listen to these words, perhaps someone from your past is thinking of you. Not to return, but to whisper a thank you for teaching them what love really means. And maybe, just maybe, you're being prepared to meet a new soul, someone who won't make you prove your worth, but will see you clearly, from the very first moment. Love always finds its way back to those who are ready. When you stop using fear to love, love stops using pain to teach. It becomes gentle, mature, radiant like the sunset at the end of a long day, warm, complete, needing no words. Take a deep breath. Feel that quiet space in your chest. And when your heart feels just a little lighter, know this: the light of love has returned. Not from outside, but from within you, the light of clarity, freedom, and gratitude. And as your heart opens again, the universe begins a new conversation where love is no longer just an emotion, but a purpose, leading you closer to the most sacred part of who you are. There are moments in life that cannot be named, only felt through the quiet tremor of the heart, a stillness so deep that you can almost hear your soul waking up. And today is that moment. No more old questions like, "What is my purpose?" or "When will things change?" Because you're no longer searching for the answer. You've become the answer. Purpose isn't something you find out there. It grows from within like a seed that has been sleeping in the soil for years, waiting for the light to soften and for your heart to grow quiet enough to let it bloom. Now, as the moon crosses Aries' rising gate, the old layers begin to fall away, so the purest part of your soul can finally speak. You start doing things not out of fear but out of love. Not for recognition but from a deep knowing. I am here for a reason. This isn't ambition, it's devotion. It's not about being seen, but about offering your light to the world, even if it's only a single, steady beam. You've walked through so many seasons of darkness, Aries. You once thought those trials were punishments. But now, when you look back, you see they were soul training. Every fall, every heartbreak, each one a teacher in the dark, showing you how to rise with the strength of your heart, not your anger. Rebirth doesn't happen in one divine flash. It begins in the smallest acts, a forgiveness you never thought you could give, a morning when you rise just to breathe, a decision to stop running from yourself. Each small act, when woven together, becomes the third miracle. And as you enter this stage, your energy changes completely. You no longer feel the need to explain who you are. No more debating, no more proving. Your silence speaks for you. And within that silence, true power begins to rise. Society may define success through fame, wealth, or titles. But the soul measures differently. By the frequency of love you bring into every room, by the smiles you leave behind, by the peace others feel simply sitting next to you, even for a moment. That is your legacy. Not what you do, but what you radiate. You are no longer seeking the light. You are the light. A light that doesn't burn or boast, but glows calm, warm, and unwavering. It doesn't need to prove itself. It simply is. And when you walk with that awareness, everything around you begins to shift. The ones who doubted you fall silent. The doors that were shut start to open. Opportunities come not because you chase them, but because you've become the kind of soul that attracts them. This is the energy of rebirth, no longer reaching outward to find meaning, but turning inward and realizing it was always there. Now, every breath you take carries light. Every step you walk whispers the same truth. I have returned, and I am ready. No more fear, no more seeking approval, no more trying to prove your worth. You simply live, and that, in itself, is the most sacred act you can offer this world. And then, as you pause in this very moment, listening to the rhythm of your cold breath, you'll feel something subtle. The world around you grows quieter, yet somehow brighter. It's as if space and time themselves are bowing in reverence to the new version of you, the one reborn in the light of awareness, ready to walk the path your soul has been writing since the beginning of time. Aries, it's time to take a deep breath and realize just how far you've come. From silence to understanding, from pain to peace, Every single step has carried meaning. October 29th isn't just a new day. It's the beginning of a new version of you, clearer, freer, and filled with more light than ever before. Thank you for having the courage to rise again, for choosing healing over resentment, for believing that love is still the right path. May you continue forward with an open heart, a luminous soul, and a quiet faith that everything unfolding now is a blessing made just for you. With gratitude and love, may the flame within your heart always shine bright, lighting every path that lies ahead.